what we about to do, we about to go kick this off with some SCS, start, continue, stop. First of all, Happy New Year. Hope all your New Year's was good as hell.
New Year.
Excuse me, I messed
please.
up. Hopefully all your New Year was good as hell.
You. Don't do the S.
New Year's Eve, New Year, all of it.
Yeah.
New Year's Day. They call it New Year's Day though. So,
but people say Happy New Year's. It's not Happy New Year's. It's New Year. It's only 1 year.
Yes, Mom. All right, so what we gonna do? What we gonna do is kick this off. How about you kick it off at the start? No pun intended. Kick it off at the start. Dang. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Good and Terrible Show. It is 2020.
Whee!
That has made a mess. And my name is Travis.
And I'm Mickey.
And we're here to kick off the new year on the right way. Happy New Year to all the ladies and gents watching this at home right now on your phones, on your laptops, on your iPads, on your tablets, whatever the hell you're watching it from.
On your way to work.
Just as long as you're watching it.
Or listen to it.
Or listen to it on the way to work. You can listen to it, but then you miss my pretty face. So
you're not missing me.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm trying to hype myself up.
Oh, sorry.
Self-love is the best love.
You're right. It's 2020.
It's 2020. Self-care is the theme. Listen, I'm ugly, but I'm cute. And at the same time, we're here to kick off your 2020 in the right way, making sure you got a positive mindset, making sure your mind is in the right place for the new year. We got some really good entertainment for y'all today, just because we're funny as hell. But we also got some really good education for you. Mm-hmm. What we got planned for them today, Mickey?
So today we're going to talk about 3 things that we want to start in 2020, 3 things we want to continue in 2020, and 3 things we want to stop in 2020. And then we're going to talk about our personal goals, which I think some of them might kind of intertwine a little bit.
Just to reiterate, just so you might, in case you might have missed that at home, 2 things you want to start, 2 things you want to continue, and 2 things you want to stop.
Did I say 3?
Did you say 3? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't listen when you talk. But was it 3?
We're tired, guys.
Do you want to do 3 or are we doing 2?
No, we're going to do 2.
We're going to do 2.
We'll let you guys pick one for your start, stop.
Yeah, let us know. Make sure you comment in this video
below.
Put
y'all comments in here. Y'all be on Instagram commenting. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all.
You aggressive today.
Yeah, it's 2020. It's now time for that.
I mean, what you're not gonna do is fight our viewers.
No, I'm not gonna fight. I'm just popping the top of the lip.
Listen.
No, but please, I'll be a little bit softer. Please comment.
She a little bit of a thug.
Just a taste. Please comment on the YouTube. Even if it's on the Instagram page, we appreciate feedback because it helps us kind of gauge if you guys like the content or if y'all are feeling what we're saying. But we like to hear
from you. It's 2020. She ready to fight y'all.
No.
You can tell because she got the nugget if you buck braids.
I want to fight.
So what we about to do, we about to go kick this off with some SCS, start, continue, stop. First of all, Happy New Year. Hope all your New Year's was good as hell.
New Year.
Excuse me, I messed up. Hopefully all your New Year was good as hell.
You. Don't do the S.
New Year's Eve, New Year, all of it.
Yeah.
New Year's Day. They call it New Year's Day though. So.
But people say Happy New Year's. It's not Happy New Year's. It's New Year. It's only 1 year.
Yes, Mom. All right. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do is kick this off. How about you kick it off at the start? No pun intended. Kick it off at the start. Dang.
Meditating is something that I've always heard from most of the people that I know, and then people on even on social media. Is something that helps you be more centered and to rest. I have trouble relaxing and sometimes sleeping well. I get sleep, but you know how sometimes you sleep but you don't rest. I want to get to that point where
sometimes you rest and don't sleep.
Sometimes too. I want to get to that point where I can successfully turn my brain off and really just kind of unwind. My brain is constantly doing this because we've got so many things going on between the show. We both have full-time jobs and then another business on top of that. My brain is always turning, which is good.
You got a brain?
Yeah, I just on lease.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to check.
It's not paid off, so don't.
Oh, okay.
Don't be loud about it.
Everybody got payments. Everybody got payments.
The second thing is to cut down on social media time, unless it's either business related or I'm doing research. Also, if you guys have iPhones, there's a part. I think it's an app that's built into the phone that tracks your screen time. My screen time right now, I think for this past week was about 8 hours a day, which I think is too much. And it actually increased about like 20 minutes. I want to cut that down to where even if I'm sending a text or sending an email, I'm conscious about my time on my phone, including social media. And even if I'm on social media to watch funny videos or even motivational things or interact with friends, I'm being conscious of I'm not on there for 2 hours, maybe 30 minutes, and then kind of get off and focus on other things. What about you?
Well, two things that I want to start in 2020. First, I want to do more solo adventures. Doing more solo adventures is my first start for 2020. The reason why is because, I'm old, but I'm young at the same time. And, I still got a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of experience I'd like to have. I'm a big extrovert. I'm not a homebody at all. I don't like to be stuck in the house. And I'm tired of waiting on y'all lame people that don't want to do nothing. All you want to do is sit in the house and watch Netflix all day long. I'm tired of y'all people that never want to get up and do nothing. You too.
No,
I'm tired of you
I go
too.
out, but you go out way more than
I'm
me.
tired of you. I don't like you either. I'm tired of y'all people that are always in the house acting boring, being grandmas and grandpas. So I'm about to go out and start doing my own thing, living my own experiences, and you can catch me on Instagram. Be jealous of all the stuff that I post whenever I go to these cool places and have these cool experiences. That's number one. Number two is, this is a little bit more personal. This is kind of more for my love life, my personal life. I'm a really private person, but for this particular one, I wanted something for like relationships in general, and that's knowing and explaining what I won't tolerate in a relationship beforehand. Because I feel like I've fallen into the trap a couple of times where maybe I wasn't like quite clear on like how I expected to be treated, or what I thought was okay, what I thought was right, what I thought was wrong, and then like I might have seen some like red flags that I had ignored, and then I still got into the relationship anyway, and then stuff popped up that I wasn't okay with, and I had to go back and say like, this isn't cool.
Right.
So just knowing up front and explaining that and communicating stuff like that better about how I expect to be treated in relationships. I think it's something I want to start doing more going into the new year here.
Look at you getting mature on us.
I'm growing.
You're growing up.
I'm a big kid now.
That's interesting that you say that, because I think that's a part of, especially for relationships for people to say what they want, but then sometimes you have to know what you want first in order to for it to come online, but you have to be able to still communicate it to your potential partner effectively and not come off as, well, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
Facts.
It has to be kind of like a smooth transition.
I'm tired of y'all 2019 chicks is what it all comes down to. It's 2020
now.
now. You better not be 2020 chicks better be a lot better than the 2019 chicks. I expect a better addition out of y'all. We ain't had a good addition in a while.
What's wrong with the 2019 chicks?
Oh, you know what? That's a whole nother episode.
He talks about this often.
Listen, I got notes for days on 2019 chicks
with some behaviors and habits.
Y'all a whole different type of breed.
Don't be saying y'all.
Maybe not y'all. I'm talking to y'all. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to y'all.
Our viewers ain't.
Oh, my viewers.
No, I'm like, they're like my kids. My kids don't act up in school.
You ain't got no kids.
My kids.
Everybody trying to have your baby.
My kids. All right, you want to do continue, or you want me to go?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So continue for 2020. The first one is daily prayer. And spending time and checking in with God. It's something that I do on a daily basis. I try to do it on the way to work in the morning, so my day is started off with me more centered. Excuse me. I kind of say the same, not the same thing, but almost the same cadence of things. Like I'll say, I'll thank God for all I have and will have. I'll ask for protection over my family and my friends. I ask for guidance and not to worry as much. I have had issues with anxiety, which I think everybody has at some point in life, where you kind of get anxious and you worry. Doing that daily prayer helps me take that anxiousness away, because once I've talked to God about it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to let him take control of that, and I'm going to continue with my day. The second thing is not to waste time on things I can't control. That was I have an affirmation list, And that was one of the top things on the list for 2019, and I'm going to take that into 2020. For example, things that I can't control are other people's actions, how other people, changing the past is something else that you can't control. And another thing would be other people's happiness. I take family, friends, even strangers, if they tell me something that they may be going through or they're having a conversation with me, I'm very empathetic to them and I want to help and I want to fix, but I'm learning that I can't fix everything. And even though my heart's in the right place, I can't change your situation. I can give you advice, but I can't engross myself 100% to the point where now I'm depressed because you're depressed, but I can still uplift you, if that makes sense. So that's something that I want to continue to do.
I feel that. I really like your first one. I'm glad that you did that. That's something I missed. If I could add a third one, it's not on my list, but if I could add a third one, it would probably be
It's our show.
Because I can do whatever the hell.
It's our show.
That's right. So I do a daily prayer, actually. Most of the time it's in the morning, unless for some reason, I was just in a rush and I forgot. But most of the time, I'll do in the morning daily prayer. But one of the things I started in 2019, it was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to read the Bible a lot more often. I tried to do it every day, but I realized I'm just way too forgiving. But I do want to make sure I'm holding myself more accountable to reading the Bible. I've made it through, the first, I'm on the first 3 books. I'm on the 4th book of the Bible right now, which is Numbers.
Old Testament.
The Old Testament, starting with the Old and end up in the New.
Yeah.
So that's the way life works. But that's something that I do want to continue to do as a third thing, and I just make sure I'm doing better about reading the Bible and continuing to get closer to God in that way.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So for continue, the 2 things that I did remember to write down is, number 1 is improving and exploring my passions. And what I mean by that is, I saw a meme last week, it's on Facebook or Instagram or something, where it's talking about our generation seems to have lost the value of hobbies.
Yes, I think I saw that.
Yeah, and it's just something that really kind of hit home to me because I've always felt like that too. I felt like when I was a kid, I had a ton of hobbies, and I can barely remember what some of them were. But now, there's different things that I'm into. When it comes to like sports, photography, comedy, different things like that. I want to make sure that I'm getting better at those for just for me personally, just to have fun, but also maybe even for monetary reasons.
Right.
Things like photography that bring me some additional income and different things like that, as well as this podcast here, which hopefully generating some income as well, and. So that's one of the things, just, making sure I'm always finding out what else I'm passionate about and improving on whatever those passions are. And then number 2, well, I guess 3, since I added yours kind of in there too, would be adding to my travel list. I've done a ton of traveling within the country here domestically. And I want to make sure I'm continuing to do that. The next place that I really want to go is San Diego. I haven't been there. That's next on my list. Seattle is a place I want to check out as well. Chicago, some different things like that. The good part, I'm not going to head over to the South Side real quick. I value my life.
It's culture.
Hey, listen, I love niggas, but we got some flaws. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that. Don't talk about that. Don't do that. He said that. Hey, I have not said anything bad about Chicago.
Y'all know what it is. Come on now. Just be honest with yourselves.
Kanye gonna slap you.
Somebody need to slap Kanye too. But also, I did, I checked off something on my goal list last year when, I actually got my passport down.
You got your passport?
Yeah, that was the beginning of last year. That was something I wanted to do in 2019. I went ahead and got that taken care of. And that's something I want to really put into use at some point before this year is up, during the course of 2020. I want to make sure I take my first international trip. Not sure where it's going to be yet. I got a few places in mind. But, I definitely want to make a trip over to Africa. Ghana's great. South Africa's great. Maybe check out Nigeria. Mm-hmm. Egypt might be, well, we'll see how the Middle East situation, go at this point.
Not want to go on that right now.
But, that's someplace I want to check out as well. Just making sure I'm putting some stamps in the passport.
Yeah.
Into that travel list. Get some good Instagram content up there for y'all.
Gotta get the flicks in.
Yeah.
That's why you travel. I need the flicks.
You can't let a smile like this go away.
And the next one is I had to shoot it down.
Oh man.
So do you want to do stop or you want me to do my stop?
You can do stop.
Okay.
Everybody stopping you. Stop.
I got it. Yeah.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yes.
All right.
So to stop in 2020, my first one is kind of a part of my daily prayer is to stop worrying and being anxious. I like to, and don't say anything, I like to control everything. And I am aware of it more now than I was before.
Because I pointed it out to you.
You and several other people, but sometimes it takes self-reflection and friends to tell you that, you know, you can't control everything. I wouldn't say that it doesn't affect me negatively. Yes, negatively, but at the same time, I find it hard to kind of go with the flow sometimes. I want things to be kind of structured, but life...
And I'm very good with the flow.
Yeah, the flow. The flow works for me, but I still gotta have some type of tweaking in the flow.
Yeah, that might be why we work together. Because, you know, I'm like the yang, you're like the yin. Mm-hmm. You know, we just opposites, and we here.
Yeah, we complement each other's...
I'm gonna let you finish that sentence in the next episode because I don't know where. I remember the first time I learned how to talk too. It's like, was that on your stop? Clearly, your brain stopped right when that happened.
My brain's in 2019.
Oh my goodness!
I was thinking something, but I couldn't get it out. But what I was saying was basically
that's because your brain was on that leash you was talking about.
to stop worrying and being anxious is a part of that. Wanting to control. My second one is. To stop downplaying my accomplishments.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to almost forget certain things that I've done, and people will bring it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. Last year, for my other business, which is photography and videography, I had a client almost every month, if not 2 in a month, which is awesome. And that's built up from 2018 when I started my business. So I almost kind of slept on it and didn't really take the time to go, wow, like I was doing great last year. Yeah. And someone mentioned it to me and I was like, I did do okay. I don't like to say it's bragging, but I'm not a person to like, you know, some people bring up like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
I'm not that person. I'm
that person.
I really don't like talking about myself too much. I'm kind of like move in the background. I'll share, you know, social media, certain things, but I have to start saying, hey, Mick, you did a good job on this, or
toot your own horn, yo.
Yeah, I'm not good at tooting my own horn.
Who's going to promote you if you don't promote you?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't like really promoting myself.
Yeah, then nobody will.
I'm like, oh, no, it's okay, you know. So
nah, it's not okay.
I got to stop doing that.
Yeah,
got to big up myself.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up.
Travis is going to help me do that.
Yeah. What's up? Let's do it. Hey, you did this, yo. Right. Let's go, Mick.
Congratulate yourself.
Let's go, Mick. Congratulate yourself. Enjoy yourself. Yeah. Are you stopping with your stop? If
yeah. I was going to do another one, but...
Do another one then. We can do what we want.
What was my third
It's
one?
our show. This ain't yours.
We originally said 3, then we said 2, and then we went back to 3, so...
Do one. Go ahead. Extra credit.
I don't think I had another one. Well...
See, I set you up and then you
did. I let y'all down.
Oh, my goodness. All right. No, never mind.
No, hush. Not being able to change the past was in something that I wanted to continue, but stop thinking about the past is something that I could also stop
I was about to
doing.
say, it's not like you can not change
you can't change the past.
That's what I'm saying.
What I put in my continue was to not focus on that. So for my stop would be not even to replay things. I replay things in my head.
Focus on the now.
Again.
Enjoy the present.
Yeah. I have trouble doing that.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Forget all that. Put the past behind you. Like my man Rafiki said. You know what I'm saying? That's my favorite movie.
I'm fully aware of this.
I'm just saying it's the greatest movie of all time. And this ain't for debate, so don't at me.
The original,
I'll
not
shut
the
you
remake.
down. I will shut you down. The remake was good too.
Was it? I haven't seen it, so I can't.
I saw it. You know.
You saw Beyonce?
My wifey Beyonce was in there.
You saw Beyonce? Yo, who?
My wife. You heard what I said.
I will call Sean Carter right now.
When you find his number, go ahead call him.
I got his
You ain't got nothing.
I got his BlackBerry.
You ain't even got his fax.
I got it.
You ain't even got his fax machine.
I got more scoop.
Go ahead, start tapping. All right, so my stop, I got a couple of things that I'm trying to stop. Number one is trying to convince wrong people that they're wrong. And what I mean by that is, I have a tendency to, if I know that something is wrong, if I know somebody's, telling the wrong information or like there's just something that, they full on believe wholeheartedly that's inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? I have a tendency to always want to be the one to step in and be like, well, actually, you know what? This is actually what it is. Stuff like that. You know what? I'm just going to let y'all continue to be wrong so I can keep my mind more at peace in 2020. Because sometimes, some stuff just, it ain't worth my time.
Things you can't control.
You know what I'm saying?
Back into not focusing on things you can't control.
Exactly. It's just not worth my time all the time to get it. So, I'd rather, just sit back and enjoy my peace and continue to live my life. As opposed to arguing with y'all ashy wrong people. How you gonna be loud and wrong? I'm gonna just let you continue to be loud and wrong, so you look like the fool instead of me trying to engage in it. It's not my time. It's something I want to stop. So it's a big time waster, and I could be doing better things with my energy, with my time. So that's something I want to stop doing in 2020. Number two is I want to stop trying to force situations that go against my gut feeling. What I mean by that is, a lot of times this kind of plays a little bit back to like the relationship thing, but not just about relationships, it's about like all aspects of life, whether it's, in my career, in my relationships, and, my hobbies and my, friendships, different things like that. Sometimes I'll see, red flags or like I'll kind of peep a warning sign or something like that. But, whether it's, out of laziness or out of just me, trying to make something work or not wanting to accept failure or something, I'll continue to try to like force something out of nothing. And I feel like it's gotten me in some bad spots in different situations before. Something I want to really like stop doing in 2020. Just, letting things be what they are. If something professionally or relationship wise or socially just seems like it's a dead end, just let it be a dead end and focus on other things that is actually providing open doors for you. You know what I'm saying? Or that is showing more appreciation for you, or seems like a better path that God's putting you on. And if you were wrong about that, and if it wasn't a dead end, you never know, it might come back around a second time and be like, well, maybe this is something that I should have spent more time on. But just I guess the overall theme for my stops is putting my energy in the right places. Stop wasting energy on stuff that's not bringing me the value that I want to see in it.
Yeah.
And just stopping to force things that happen, because God's plan is always going to be better than your plan. Yes, so you might, have a plan and your plan's not working. You're like, I just need to put more effort into it. I need to put more time into it. That might not be it at all. You might just have to drop that plan and focus on something different.
Or postpone it.
Like I was saying. It might come back around later on and be there for you at the right time, because God's time is always perfect. Yes, it might not be when you want it to be, but it's always on time.
We were almost in sync. We almost had it.
That's what I'm talking about. See, we different, but we balance each other out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I think my stops for 2020 there.
Those are good.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So we also put down 5 goals that we had, personal goals. I guess I could do one, you do one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back and forth.
Ladies first.
Age
before beauty.
My first would be researching home ownership. I am
that's a good one.
Renting right now. I was looking into home ownership for 2020 and 2019, and I wasn't. You know how you say I'm thinking about doing something. I need to physically start to research. YouTube is your best friend. Also, I have family and friends that are homeowners that will be honest with me and tell me certain things I need to know. We're piggybacking, so I'll let you do your one.
No, that's a really good one. I just recently, met with a financial advisor that works with my family as well, and that's something that I'm definitely going to be exploring with him as well, like what options would be for home ownership in the future. So that's a really good one. That wasn't on my list, but I would add that,
Number 6.
Number 6. I can do what I want. It's my show.
It's my show.
Number 1, the first goal that I have for 2020 is being serious about eating better.
Oof.
Yeah, because I'm fat. I enjoy food.
What did we just eat before we shot?
I had chicken and broccoli. I don't know about you.
I had Lito's leftover pizza.
Exactly. Look, so who made the better choice?
But I drank it with water.
I'm drinking with water now too.
And there's lemons in it.
We stay hydrated. Never thirsty.
There's no soda on this table, okay?
There's no soda on this table.
Technically, I canceled out the pizza with the water. Continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you live. So yeah, you know what? Because last year, I was looking at pictures and photographs, all that stuff of where I was at the beginning of 2019, and I was definitely like one of the heaviest that I've ever been. I was looking at some photos. I was like, I didn't like how my face looked, whatever. Last year, I actually lost a lot of weight. My clothes fit a little bit better. I was able to get into some smaller sizes, whatever. Saw some of the weight go down, and I also took a new job at the I guess middle around the springtime of last year as well. And let me tell y'all something, and Mickey can attest to this. This job gives us free food all the time. They are always feeding us. If there's one thing they're gonna do, is they're gonna feed us. So every time, every Monday morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a good week eating wise. I'm gonna eat some real good food. It's gonna be healthy for me. And then as soon as I walk in, I'm like, oh, we got 5 pizzas in the break room. Oh, we got 3 boxes of donuts.
Yesterday, there's donuts upstairs.
Oh, my
He took off.
Oh, my gosh,
I couldn't even blink my eyes, and he was upstairs.
Oh, we got snacks for everybody. Oh, we got fruit. Oh, we got this. Oh, we got... There's always free food, man. And while I'm still, less than I was at the beginning of last year, I feel like I've put a little bit of that weight back on. So, I want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence and eating better, making sure, getting a lot of, vegetables, fruits, all that good stuff in there, making sure that it's not all. I still love pizza. I'm not going to stop eating pizza, but I'm just going to eat it less.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. That was my first one.
Okay. So, for me, my second would be to begin to, again, not just saying I'm going to research it. It was on my affirmation list for 2019 as well, too. To physically research and invest in the vending service business. So, like, vending machines, it could be snacks, it could be products. It's something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to get into the food industry. And vending services is something that is not as much capital up front, but has a good return. And I actually found a page on Instagram, which I'll tag below if you guys are interested. The owner is actually a black owner, and he has a vending manual. He gives you the steps on how to purchase machines, how to get contracts, how to reach out to different businesses. He has, I don't know how many, but he has tons of locations, hotels, it could be a gym, it could be hair salons, it could be malls, but vending is something that's not just snacks anymore. I saw a vending machine the other day in the mall, for a CVS vending machine with first aid stuff, baby wipes, stuff that, when you're out somewhere, you're like, man, I really need this. Having that somewhere pivotal and and having a good location is a good money maker, and it's something that I don't have to necessarily be on top of every single day. I'm kind of monitoring it back and forth. So that's my introduction into the food industry. The next is franchising, which we'll talk about at a later date.
When she learns how to talk.
Next episode, I'll be speaking so fluently.
The second goal is to build a better financial plan and to introduce more streams of income. So this kind of goes back into a couple of different things. We talked about real estate a little bit. We talked about exploring your passions there. Last year I really started to take off with the photography that I've been doing. Helping to launch that. We're starting different things here like a podcast. There's a lot of different things that I'm trying to do and a lot more that I haven't done yet. I want to make sure that I'm working to build a better financial plan to make sure that I'm not only setting myself up for better success later on. Instead of blowing through money, and also setting myself up for taking care of my family as well. My parents get a little bit older; they reaching the retirement age, so want to make sure I'm doing what I can to help not just myself but my family as well. And more streams of income is always the way to go. You know what I mean? You ask anybody that's on the Forbes list, nobody did it all just for one thing. Unless you invent something like Microsoft or
Apple.
Invent Amazon or something like that. Yeah. Even Steve Jobs did a lot more than one thing. He was doing Pixar. He was doing.
That's right.
A lot. there's rare cases where you know you can be a genius and change some. Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook, you know what I'm saying. But if you really want to set yourself up for success, you got to have more than one stream of income. So I would encourage you all to figure out what activities, what hobbies, what things you can do to work towards to get additional streams of income in there. And I'm not just talking about like getting a second job or anything. I'm talking about recurring income where you can make money while you're sleeping. You know, make money while you're doing your other job, entrepreneurship, whatever it might be. So
that's actually kind of segues into my third goal, which is conscious spending and saving habits. I do have a budget. I do a budget every month. I normally follow it to the T. There are some times where I kind of like skew off and I'll go, oh, I might, buy X, Y, and Z, or Fashion Nova will have a sale, and the alert.
She buys so much Fashion Nova.
That everything I have on right now is from, well, actually this isn't from Fashion Nova, it's from TJ Maxx. But my pants.
The head wrap?
My pants, huh?
You bought your head wrap from Fashion Nova?
No, this is from an African store.
Okay.
Called Etsy Designs. But I sometimes will get on a budget and then, Fashion Nova 40% off. And I'm like, dang, I don't need anything, but let me go take a look. Now I'm starting to be more conscious about, okay, do you really need something, or are you just looking because it's available? The same thing with saving habits. Have a savings account, but I have things automatically going there. But as we all know, sometimes you have to take things out to do other things. I have a plan now where I want to set aside a certain amount and have it go to an account that I cannot touch, or there's no debit card hooked up to that savings account, which I think would be really, really good to make it harder for me to access it. Then you kind of mentally forget about it because you're not constantly checking that account.
It's a good one.
Yes.
It's always a good one. My third one is to travel more domestically and internationally. I know this is kind of a piggyback of what I was talking about when it came to one of my goals earlier, which I believe was under my start. Yeah, it was under my start.
To travel more.
I do want to make sure I'm traveling more. I did a lot of traveling in 2018. Got to see a lot of places that I never saw before. 2019, I felt like I fell off of that a little bit. There's a lot of transitions going on. New job. Some new ventures that I was doing in my life, and some new hobbies I was taking on. So I didn't do as much traveling as I wanted to do. So, I definitely want to make sure I'm doing traveling, especially internationally, getting those stamps on the passport. With this president, you don't know what the hell going to happen. So I might want to start scoping out some other places that I'm trying to live in another country or something,
Africa's first on my list. I'm going back to the motherland.
But that's a continent.
I apologize. I would pick a country in Africa to go back to. I've made that mistake so many times, and then someone corrected me, and I was like,
how you going to wear African head wrap and then say...
Well... I'm sleepy, remember? Don't forget.
Well, that's because we be shooting late at night.
I slipped up and said it. So I was like, it's a continent. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a common mistake. 2020, we're learning.
Oh, my goodness. Self-care is the best care.
Self-care is the best care.
Number 4 is to find more hobbies to keep myself active. These are specific type of hobbies. So there's a lot of hobbies like we talked about, the fuel passions or whatever. But you also want to find some hobbies that are actually going to help you stay active and healthy, and they're actually going to be fun, to do. Mm-hmm. The reason why is, I absolutely hate going to the gym. I hate it, and I hate the notion of paying people to work out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, growing up, I played sports. I played football, I played baseball, whatever. So I worked out a lot, in the gym and actually, being physical, being active all the time outside. Now that, we've been working in offices for years,
mm-hmm.
different things like that. We don't have as many opportunities to stay active. College, we had 3 free gyms on campus, and I lived right next to one of them. So I was working out a lot then. And even when I started, fresh out of college in my first career, they had a free gym right in the building as well. So, I did a lot of working out, in my younger years, which I've fallen off of in the last, maybe 5-6 years or so. But I want to make sure that I'm finding hobbies to stay active. Maybe get back into some sports leagues, different things like that. I used to do flag football and softball and
mm-hmm.
different things like that. Just find different ways. Maybe get into hiking and different things like that. Finding ways to stay active, so I don't necessarily have to go to the gym, but still keeping it in good shape.
Yeah.
Different things like that. So that's my 4th one on the list.
That's funny you say you hate the gym. The gym, I enjoyed the gym, but getting back into the groove of it is kind of tough. I recently got back in the groove of mine like about 2 weeks ago. I was going to the gym twice a day, once at lunch and then once after work, and it worked. I lost a lot of weight, but then you kind of get off that normal routine and you start eating out more, and the gym gets less and less, and you pick the weight back up. So now I'm back on the routine of going at least once a day, 4 to 5 days a week. But you're right, you have to pay for a gym membership. So if you're not going to go to the gym, find something, like you said, like sports, or even if you work out at home, YouTube has tons of free fitness videos to do something to stay active. And it also, for me, it helps me concentrate more. I'm more focused after I work out, and it makes me feel, good about myself, doing something positive.
Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah, getting strong.
Yeah, feeling good.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's coming. It's coming.
yeah, feeling good. Yeah. Self-love. Love yourself.
You did your number 4?
I did my number 4.
Okay, so my number 4 is to go out of the country at least one time every year. So last year, 2019, I did not go out of the... No, I did. I did. I went... Jim. I went... last year, I went to Mexico. And the year before...
Okay, that's right there.
It's still out of the country.
That's true.
This guy. With no stamps with passport.
This ain't right there.
With no stamps with passport. That don't count. But you ain't, man.
I don't want to go. They be kidnapping people.
Nah, I was okay.
I was okay. They tried.
They couldn't get me.
I got away.
I outran them. The year before I went to Bahamas, so I want to keep that tradition up. Going out of the country can be expensive, which is why planning ahead is also something that I want to look at. I'm hoping, and we'll see this at the end of the year, to go to Africa at the end of the year, December.
Where you gonna
go? I think I want to go to, it will either be Ghana or Nigeria. I have friends from both places, so I need to kind of do some research and figure out which one. But Africa,
I want to see Liberia too. Actually.
I do, and that's the thing. There's so many countries to go to. I've always wanted. As a kid, I saw a movie about Johannesburg, and I always wanted to go. And again, Africa is huge, so you could literally do. I want to try to do multiple places within that country when I go. But planning that ahead, December is a long way from now. I want to.
Fun fact.
What?
Africa is actually the second largest continent in the world after Asia.
So Asia is first.
Asia's first.
Okay, I thought Africa was first.
Nah, Asia's huge. Asia's big as hell.
Makes sense.
Asia covers everything from the Middle East all the way over to China and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's something I want to do. So Africa this year in end of 2020, or possibly another country depending on cost, or another continent rather depending on cost. But I want to do that every year.
See, the good thing about going to, other places, Europe or Africa, maybe even South America or Asia or whatever, is, a lot of these continents, there's a bunch of countries that are close by, and it's a lot easier to get to once you're already there,
right?
On that side of the world. You know what I'm saying? Here in the U.S., everything's isolated. We can either go to Canada or Mexico or maybe somewhere in, the Caribbean or whatever.
There's water between everything.
Right. You got to take planes, you know what I'm saying? You got to, it's a lot more difficult process. Or if you take a cruise to go to the Bahamas or something like that.
Right.
When you're
Cruises are the least expensive way to travel.
Right. Well, they still pretty expensive, too.
Depending on what cruise line.
Some flights, to be honest.
Depending on what cruise line and where the cruise leaves from. Because you still have to get to the boat.
Right. Yeah. But if you, take a trip to, West Africa or something like that, this is, a ton of countries over there, and depending on obviously what the border laws there over in certain countries, it's easy to kind of maybe hit 2 or 3 in a trip before you come back to kind of knock out some additional countries. And especially if you go to Europe, a lot of times people go to Europe, to Western Africa, Western Europe or Eastern Europe or something like that, and knock out a bunch of things. You might hit France, Spain, Italy or something all in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Within a month she did it.
Yeah, see? Oh, see, a month, that's long as hell.
She did a month cruise.
But yeah. That's, just something to throw out there.
Hi, Auntie. I know you watching.
Hi, Mickey's
Hi,
Auntie.
Lulu.
Hi, Lulu. Her name Lulu?
No, that's her nickname.
Oh, hi, Lulu.
That I gave her.
Am I allowed to call her Lulu?
Yeah, you can.
All right, what's up, Lulu? Wait, what was that?
That was my number 4.
Okay.
So your number 5 is
I didn't know
next.
if you had wrapped anything up with that. You good with that?
I got one more left. So you.
No, I mean with your number 4.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
All right, cool. My last and final goal here, for 2020 is. So I've talked about this a lot, and some of my closer friends know me. You know this about me. It's like, I was originally born in New York, and I moved to Maryland at a really young age. You know what I'm saying? But I've always wanted to move back over there. I still spend a lot of time in New York, and I go there, at least a couple of times every single year. But I eventually want to make that a permanent living space again for me. I want to move back over there. So in 2020, I want to work on setting up some stepping stones to eventually move back over there. Within the next 5 years, I want to be able to move back to somewhere in the city, or at least in the surrounding area. So I want to start, lining up stepping stones now to make that transition, a little bit easier, a little bit better, and start figuring out a plan that, that's going to get me over there. Because, I don't just want to, jump into it and just, move there without a plan. I want to make sure, my career is in place, I have, the particular spot that I'm trying to live, have my housing all set up, different things like that. Just exploring certain options there and the best path that'll get me over there. That's one of the things I'm talking with my financial advisor about, to making sure I'm creating a path to get myself back over there and living over there in my favorite city, the greatest city in the world, to get myself back over there. So just wrapping that up and making sure I'm putting the stepping stones in place now, and creating a path to that. That's probably my 5th goal for 2020.
So my 5th goal, which ties into continuing daily prayer, is to build a closer relationship with God. And to piggyback on that, is to... Last year, one of my goals for 2019 was to spend more time with family. I think I fulfilled that, but I still want to do that. And God and family are 2 of the most important things in my life, and friends as well too. But those 2 are top tier. So, in that closer relationship, the daily prayer plays a big role in that. Meditation, which is something that I said earlier that I wanted to learn how to do. For me, as a spiritual person, having that relationship with God, even if I'm not, which I don't consistently go to church, Sunday service or Bible study, but every single day, unless like you said, you're rushing and you forget. And if I do, I'll pray and apologize later, like, oh Lord, I'm sorry I haven't checked in with you today. I try to check in with God and, talk about things that I may be going through. And I don't like to say problems. I like to say hurdles. So I'll talk out loud. I talk just like I'm talking to you right now. I'll do it in the car. Sometimes do it while I'm getting ready for work in the morning, or if I'm at home working on something. It helps me to relax, but it also gives me a sense of almost like a therapy between me and God. It's a personal conversation, but once I'm speaking out loud, I'm able to really see things on a bigger scale. Sometimes things that feel like mountains really aren't that big, and God will kind of reveal to me that it's not that bad. You can do X, Y, and Z, or I'll pray about it, and the next day an idea will pop in my head, and I'll go, oh, that's a solution for this. So building that relationship with God, and for me, it falls on business, it falls on finances. God touches everything in my life. So if me and his relationship is good, everything else falls into place for me.
Absolutely. The car is a really good place.
Yeah.
Because you ain't doing nothing else at the time.
Sitting in traffic, I'd be like, Lord, look at this.
Might as well talk to God.
This is crazy.
That's right.
I was talking to him today because it snowed today here where we are, and I was not happy cleaning off my car tonight. I was not.
See, I went out at lunch, so I cleaned a little bit off at the time.
Yeah,
so I didn't
that
have
was
to
smart. Because doing it in the cold at night, when it's starting to freeze, it wasn't fun.
Defroster with the windshield wiper.
I was like, I hate this. Yeah.
The last and final goal here for the both of us, kind of a bonus goal, if you will, is to continue to make y'all laugh. All of 2020, we want to make sure we're entertaining y'all, engaging y'all, doing all we can. Laughter is a big thing here. We always want to make sure that we're not only making each other laugh, but making you laugh as well. If there's anything that we can do to make your life a little bit better watching the show, hopefully we're brightening up your day at work, wherever you're doing in the car, listening, if you will, if you're not watching. If there's anything that you want us to touch on that we haven't covered, that you'd like us to cover, please feel free to comment. Also, let us know about your 2020 goals. We want to hear, what things you want to start, things you want to stop, different things like that. Put all the information below. Make sure to click the subscribe button and continue to watch the Good and Terrible Show. Go back and watch the old episodes, too, if you haven't seen them.
Please.
Want to make sure you're checking those out, because there's a lot of funny material, some good educational stuff in there as well.
Yes.
Make sure you get a chance to watch that. And we certainly wish you the best for a happy new year here over at the Good and Terrible Show.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add here, Mickey?
I would like to add that I am so excited that we started in 2019 and now we're going to have a full year in 2020.
A full year.
A full year. And the more videos you guys watch, the more content, of course, we're going to be able to provide because we'll get more feedback from YouTube or on our Instagram. So, like you said, if you guys have opinions or even with your personal goals, put them below on YouTube or Instagram. The more engagement we get, the better. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That's one of our. Well, that's another goal for 2020 to hit 1,000 subscribers. So, tell a friend, share it.
Share with your mom, your dad, your uncle,
anybody.
your cousin,
Tell
your
them
brother.
Just watch it. Tell
Let
them
your
just
dogs watch it.
Turn it on,
Make your
go
hands
clean the
to watch
house,
it.
come back,
give it to your
in.
babysitter.
Let your dog watch it.
Let your dentist watch it while they operating on your teeth.
Right. The
You know
more viewership, the better. So we appreciate that.
Give it to the cable man. Whoever you want to give it to.
It's free.
It's free. It ain't costing you nothing to watch.
Just watch it.
And you get to see my pretty face. So there's a good benefit in there for you. Yeah, shy. So what we gonna do? So what we're gonna do is close this out with a bang. Make sure again to click subscribe below and comment your 2020 goals, your stop, what you want to continue.
Yes.
Let us know things you want to do for your 2020. Maybe we missed something that you got knowledge on. So thank you again for watching this. We wish you the best. Happy New Year here from the Good and Terrible Show.
Bye. More glitter. Whee!
That's your good, ain't it?